Hey everyone, Shijo here. As my favorite quote says, if it's important, you will find a way. If it isn't, you will find an excuse. I thought to give you a little walk around on this anti gravity tool. If you're familiar with the VS Code, it's built based on that. Um, the right hand is where you have an agent. Um, so this option has planning. So when you give some prompt, it thinks then reacts, and if you choose fast, it'll be executing without much thinking. And you have models like Gemini 3's high and low, cloud cloud sonnet's 4.5, and so forth. So basically I thought to give you little of vibe programming feel, so I've created a folder called Tasker. It's like a Jira clone. Let's try whether that will work out or not. I haven't tried it, so let's try together. Since I'm doing this vibe programming series, I thought, okay, let me do little of vibe programming just to show you like how I did that rather than me straight away show my app how it's working. So I thought let me take this part of the video to just show what anti-gravity can do. So I usually say this is to track my task related to project. um, Tech stack, uh, use your preference for faster and goal similar to Jira. You see, I just mentioned the goal that is to track my task related to project. The tech stack. Usually, if I'm aware of whatever tech stack I mention, if I just let AI choose its own preference, I will let it do. Usually, it uh, let the AI take care for now. Then we'll think about it because this is just for a demo. So I'm just giving a glimpse of it. So if we know like what tech stack we want to build, we can specify. You can specify a backend as a Node or Python or Java, or so forth, and your front end to be whatever applications you want it to be in. So similar to Jira. So this is simple thing. Let's try now. Give me a second. You see, there are few things this has done. So I'll just give an accept all for now so that a better view can be seen. So what is did is it has created a task. It is creating a direct the task are like it'll create a direction structure, then it'll initialize a front end, then backend using fast API. Then it defines models, creating API, creating a board layout, implementing drag and drop task API. So this is a certain task that itself it has created what all it has to go through. Now we'll see an implementation plan. So implementation plan is basically anti-gravity is gonna write certain things, then it will start to read from this implementation plan and perform the task. So let's quickly see what it's gonna do. It's create a task application similar to Jira with a focus on speed and usability. The tech stack it's gonna use is front end is on React and fast end is fast API with SQLite because we were just creating it minimalistic. So that is why let it be an SQLite. But if you wanted to change, you can actually change it to, you can just edit the file and change it to use it whatever SQL you wanted. And for now, I'll just leave it the way it is because the intention is just to show by programming the backend files, the schemas, the CRUD operation, the models. It's creating the front end. You know, no, it does return a verification plan. Or it's automatically test. It'll start the backend and test the APIs. Then it verifies the front end builds. Okay. Now manual verification is what is expected us from us to do. So we create a task, move a task between columns, delete a task, verify it, persistence after project, right? Now, le- so what it says is here I've created a project plan and task list. I plan to use React for the front end, fast API to the back end. Please review the implementation plan. So once we review and if we feel like it is good, then we can say let's proceed or whatever you want to say. You can just say, it the time it has taken. You see, it has thought about 2 seconds. The entire thought process was in 12 seconds, and it created most of the things, right? So that was an implementation plan. Now let's see how long it will take to proceed and work. And let me open the folder structure also for better visibility. I'll keep it this way so that see, we are in the project setup, so there's a strike happening, right? And each time, whenever it wanted to access terminal, we get a pop-up like this asking for permission. If you see in left side, we don't have any folders creating, so it'll try to create a backend folder now, and it'll try to create a front end folder too. After this, you see a backend folder was created. Now it is trying to create front end folder and install React. Well, technically, I'm not a React person, so I don't know what the code is gonna be, but let's see how it comes. So each time some command comes, it's asking for, you can control on this, but this is one of the recommend option where it suggests and gives you, then you take the control to accept or not. Else we can change the control to the full AI. So AI decides, AI prompts, AI will use all the commands, just that you go for a coffee and come back. See, it has created a directory structure, right? So that is when the X mark, which means that it's completed. The strike mentions that it's in a progress. I think 1 minute back is what we give a proceed. So let's see how long it is taking. So there's one more comment. So it's gonna pip install the requirement text. Okay. Now what is gonna happen is it's gonna install, but we should have specified that the requirement should have been installed in environmental file, right? Which I didn't. Okay. So I already left it that way to just to make sure to understand that. See, sometimes AI may understand things, sometimes AI doesn't. As a developer, you know what you do. If you specify exactly what it is, it is the way. Now let's click on accept. It's gonna install. You see, that time we get, see, you install a Python in global, which can cause conflicts between packages version, right? So for now, I'll just leave it, let it install globally. Okay, since we didn't specify that virtual thing, I will allow it to install. Now then what I'm gonna do is, I will ask it to create in virtual environment, right? And proceed. Now, what I will say is I'm gonna stop here. You see, I press a cancel. I'll stop here. So, what is progresses is it initialize front end, back end directories. It is configured application environment, configured the CSS and front end is what it says. Now, what I'm gonna do is I want the pip to be installed in venv and delete the previous install from global. Now it's gonna implement a virtual environment. You see, it is written pip uninstall the requirements file, right? So let's see what all the requirement file it has. So it has installed fast API, Unicorn, Skill, Alchemy, and Pendetic. So I'll accept it. So it's gonna it has to you see it's creating a virtual environment. Then it's gonna install. You see a VNV has been created now and all the packages have been installed. Now the packages is gonna get installed. You see it's found some error. Based on that it is doing some process, right? Now it says it's retrying to tailwind CSS installation. Now let's click on accept. So it itself is finding error, finding the resolution for the same. The effort of a dev is getting reduced here. Okay, so what has been completed? We completed the directory structure, initializing front end, initializing back end is finished. Now with the part of back end, it has to start with defining models. See, it says implementing schemas and CRUD operations. Let's open the front end. No, it's creating a components folder. You see, now it'll start working on this components. See this code. It is waiting for our review. So if you feel this is good, we'll click on accept, else we reject it, or accept it, then make the modifications. For now, I'm not doing any human touch to this. I let the AI do end to end. Okay, so what it did, created a board layout, implemented drag and drop, task management, UI, API integration, right? So all those things, it says it has done, but once everything is done, we have to validate it. Since I'm using the preview version, it's just taking a little of a time, I feel. Let's see. We had mentioned the goal, tech stack, and goal. It had created a planning, implementation plan, and the task. After reviewing with us, we are given a proceeding. Then it started doing. In between, we missed out to specify the installation to be happen in virtual environment. That's why I put a showstopper. Then I added my prompt to install the installation into VNV. Then after that, it has automatically resumed the rest of the work. Okay. Now what it has done, it has completed implementation. Jira clone, you can start using run. Okay, so why are we seeing the start bat is because this started to understand the way I work. Okay, that is one of the reason because most of the project what I do is I create a bat file. Instead of going to the folder structure and click on a run, what I would do is just double click on this bat file. Behind the scenes, it runs the same commands that has to be run in the terminal, and the application is loaded. Okay. Now, if you see what has happened is most of the things is done. Test end to end flow. That is like we have to test it and let it know like everything looks good, then it makes its own changes. So first of all, let's see what start bat is doing. Oh yeah, we saw a lot of codes, right? You see the codes are still in review and things. So what I will do is I'll accept everything for now, because my main intention is not to review the code at this moment. I just wanted to see what why programming is does and how the output looks like. Okay, now the start.bat has two logic. One is to run the backend terminal and one is to run the front end terminal. Okay, now then after running, it'll be opening in localhost 5173. Now what it says is I have also created a walkthrough MD for more details. Let's go to this walkthrough MD file to understand what it has made changes. So it's all about the tool, how to run this application, the project structure, the usage. Keeping this in mind, let me bring up my folder. You see that start. Let me double click on this, and these are the two terminals that gets loaded. So it has started the backend and it has started the front end. So we have to go to our local host. So let me get that local host here. Okay. Now what has happened? You see there's some kind of a tailwind CSS error that is causing the issue and the application is not loaded. So what we do is we copy paste this error and say fix the error, or don't specify fix the error. By reading the error message, it will self understand what it has to be done. But to straight away the the context I'm just mentioning it as to fix the error. So what it's gonna do is I'm installing post css, so that would have been missed. So that's the reason it's gonna install. You see this, it is thinking and behaving the way how we do a task, right? Okay, please run again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this terminal. Now if just with the refresh also it doesn't solve because we got a initialize our front end again. So let me close this terminals. Again double click on the bat file. Yeah, so the front end and the backend terminal has been loaded, and you see some requests are started coming in, right? So let's minimize this terminal and maximize this. Okay, if you ask me, this looks very bad. Yes, it does. It has created a plain thing, right? So that's why I said, because we just mentioned the goal, the end goal, and simplified thing. This is just for us to try out the first task. Okay, select column to do. Okay, we have added in the first task. It says we can drag and drop also, right? Yeah, you see, we can drag this. We can't edit, but we can delete. Okay, now let's do couple of things now. Okay, UI looks bad. Make it into a modern web app UI. Edit task is not working. By default, created task must be. See here, whenever we create a task, is asking us to select the column. So what I would prefer is create a task to the to do. For now, we'll go like this. So this is what the basic, of why programming is. It does not given the full fledged is because I didn't specify most of the things in my entire goal, right? I just wanted to give a try with this how this works. For the other project which I have worked is I have started um, giving little information on what how it has to feel and everything in the first initial early. So this because I just wanted to give it in a for a people who's new to this, just to understand what it is and just to start up. So I'm just going with that intention. Just start with a small thing. As and when it progresses, you will get an idea like how it's gonna look like. Then think about it, what you can do, you know, then perform it. Okay, this looks very bad because there's no design. I think it simply just created a to-do list. Actually, it is not created the way we wanted, but what is done is, yeah, it is not cloned fully, though our intention was to clone. We have asked it, it has its own. We have to start prompt engineering down the lane, but let's try with this new prompt what I said. Let's take it up and see how it's gonna work, and maybe we'll end after that. Um, just wanted to show you that the time I have coded is zero in this now, right? It's just because I'm not read the code or anything. I'm just leaving the way it has to go through. I'm letting the AI decide. I'm letting AI do everything. It's just that it's just like, you're speaking to your assistant and assistant is working for you, right? That's how it is. As I said, yes, it has its own limitations and things, but we gotta figure it out. One of the reason can be because I've used the model as low. Maybe next prompt we'll try with this and see how it's gonna work, right? Maybe after that we'll just stop it. Okay, then walkthrough gets updated. Everything. It what? So let's see what it is. Then it is then a modern UI edit task you can edit now. Default column is to do column. There's no specific column selected. Okay, let's accept all. Okay, let's refresh and see. Ah, there it is. After refresh, what is happening? We're getting an error. So this time what we'll do is we'll just copy the error and just paste it without saying fix error. Okay, now in this we'll select Sonnet. Maybe when I find time, maybe I'll try to rework on this application for the way I want. Maybe then later I'll demo it for you guys. Okay, now it says it is fixes CSS error. Uh, well, very bad design, right? It has given a very bad design. So default is to do. I can't even say anything. Hmm. Let's try this. What it's gonna think. Now you see. Maybe you could have tried it in the first go. Yes, it would have worked. But for me, I wanted the minimum setup of the project first to be set it up so that then once you start prompting and going forward, the AI is gonna understand more precise in which part of the code it has to edit and modify and go forward. Hmm. Okay, it's been 28 minutes since I started this recording. Yeah, if someone says that you just code it, go have a tea and come, not exactly right, but sometimes you got to sit with the system because it's gonna ask for your approval. By the time you finish your coffee break and come, your tool is not been up because you didn't click on the approval, right? So yes, please refresh the browser to see the changes. Okay, now it has refreshed to something. Let's try this to do uh, demo. And okay, now edit. Oh, there's a description. That save. Now let I can drag and drop to done. Okay, yeah, I think in less than 30 minutes we created App, yes, it's an app, but UI sucks, yes, but it is doing something now. From there, we can actually start to work. Okay, you see this? Once it's in done, I'm not able to get it into progress. It's going back to to do. Okay, from to do, let's see whether I can get it in progress. No, but if you see in progress, there's one count, right? So 1 0. So it has little bugs here. You see now in done it is one. In progress, it is not. Okay, so this is really bad if you ask me, but just wanted to show like it all depends on how your prompt is, so that you get your application ready. My main intention was not to show end-to-end development of this application, because I just wanted to give you like in 30 minutes the app is created. What was my goal? It has created to do. But if at all we started writing code as a developer, let's close all. So you got to set up your backend, set up your front end, start creating components for your front end, start designing. I mean, at least to get it to this level is what I'm just talking about. Maybe design is crampy. You'll be thinking, yes, I do agree. But as I said, the intention is just to show what it is and take it up. So mostly down the lane, I will re-enhance on this, get it to the way I want, more nice, in a nicer way. Then I can reshare the end product again. Because other applications, what I'm gonna show is I've gone through this phase, then I've come up with the end product. So from day zero, you can't expect to have a final product, right? So it does do take some time. It does do take some prompt, a nicer prompt, more defined prompt to work on it. Okay, so as I said, as a developer, we would have created the backend, the CRUD operations, the DB file, the schemas, the front end. All these things has to be created, then work on it. So now what will happen is, now anything what you want to work, you have a setup ready, right? It's like a base is ready now. It's not the core part, but the base is ready now. Gradually, you think what you wanted, we can start and work on it. Okay. Um, so yeah, this is. I just wanted to give a heads up on what Y programming is, and I'm just using anti-gravity as one of the tool. There's a lot in the market. Since it's a preview for now, I've just started to use it. Once it starts asking for money, I don't know. Let's see. If by then I get some subscribers, sponsors, then yes. Yeah, jokes apart. But thank you. Have a good day. Until next time. Hey again. You remember the last project we did? The Tasker. Yeah. So you see what I've done it. So I have asked to analyze my code base and see if it has met the requirements and feel of the tool I was expecting, right? So after performing certain analysis, you see how much it has rated. It is rated 3 out of 10 on the Jira field. So what's working is, it says it's professional UI matching Jira's color scheme. Maybe since it's white, maybe that's why it's saying drag and drop yes, basic yes, solid background architecture. We're not explored it yet. So it says it is. So what's missing? It says it's missing the metadata field, the filtering search, the collaboration, the project management, the limit to task details, and so on and so forth. The gap, what you built is a polished task like Trello Lite. Trello Lite is little more good, but it says it is still a Trello Lite. So I don't know if you have explored Trello. Trello is like a to-do app by Atlassian. So it's a free version. You can try it out if you don't have a Jira. Quick wins to improve Jira feel. It's gonna add priority icons. So it says altogether it to take 3 hours, right? So what I would do is, um I would proceed to this. I just wanted to show what it is. So I'm not gonna record it for the entire 3 hours. So I'll stop the recording now, play around with this, and get back to the final project. I just said the last time, just to show you, like, okay, it can still give you a little better, right? Okay, thank you. Bye bye.